recording is on.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to LisaBug Mind Body Blend. And our focus for the remainder of the month of April is we're working on discussing the anatomy of the core. And today the topic is the back side of the core. Super important that we strengthen our back. And sometimes, and I am definitely one of those people who tends to focus more on the front of the core. We think about our abs in front as being our core, but sometimes we forget about the back side of the body. So if we look at the spine, along the spine from the back of the neck down to the tailbone, there's a series of interconnecting muscles on both sides of the spine called the erector spinae. And so those muscles are responsible for taking us from here to pulling us up to an upright position. So we're going to focus on the erector spinae and also the posterior obliques. And so our posterior obliques, as we're picking ourselves up, allow us to rotate and twist as we're extending our spine up. So we'll be spending some time working on those muscles, both in a standing position, in kneeling position, and also prone on your belly. We have hand weights today. I have a couple of different sizes. We will mostly use lighter weights, but whatever you have at home is great. I also have a small hand towel, a kitchen towel. We're going to use that as a prop for a few of our exercises, and then a small chair to help us with balance, and then maybe some cushioning for your knees as you come down to a kneeling position. So let's start with a Tai Chi inspired warm-up. Coming onto your mat with your space clear. And bring your feet into what we call the mid stance. So it's not feet tight together, it's not the wide Wu Chi, but just about descending from the outside of the hips. Soften your knees and slightly tuck your tailbone under. Lengthen your spine through the crown of the head and then really pull the shoulder blades back. And begin to breathe. Loosen up your neck a little bit, loosen up your jaw. There's nothing tight in the body. And then I just want you to relax your arms like they're really heavy. In fact, you can just flop them around a little bit, loosen them up. We're just going to start to rotate to one side and then to the other. Now, as I'm doing this slowly, I'm using my arms to kind of wrap around my body. But as we start to speed this up, I want you to keep your arms relaxed and just let them slap the sides of your body. So I'm not controlling my arms whatsoever. I'm using the waistline as I rotate. And I'm keeping my head straight forward so that I'm not continually moving my head from side to side, making myself a little bit dizzy. So the head is secure, the waist is moving. Now, right now I'm not moving my feet either or my hips very much, but I want you to start to spin one heel off the floor and then rotate the body a little bit more. Good, nice and easy. Let's do about 8 more each side. And 7, 6. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1, and relax. Now separate your feet a little bit wider, wide Wu Chi position. Soften those knees a little bit. Scoop the arms up with the palms facing upward, then rotate them, reach to the sky, and as you open, bend your right knee and look toward your left hand. Then we'll come back to center again. Scoop in and up. And then we'll bend the left knee and look toward the right hand. Now, at any pace you'd like to go with this, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in and out. Now I want you to start to diagnose how your body's feeling this morning. How's your knees as you're bending? How's your hips? How's your shoulders? And the lower back, the ankles, the feet. Let's take one more of these to each side. And just relax those arms. Step your feet together closely. We're going to lift the right knee slightly, so I'm just tapping my foot to the floor. And then take a little step out and press your heel and lean into that right leg. I'm going to stay on the same side. Tap your toe, strike the heel, and bend the knee. And now we'll add this left arm sweep across and bring it down. Sweep across and bring it down. So I always like to teach movements in layers so you can focus on one thing at a time and then add the next one in. Now we have to do something with this left arm hanging by our side. So this arm comes forward and reaches up. Right arm reaches out. Left arm up. Reach and up. Now try not to be stiff in your spine. I want you to start to lead with your waist a little. So reach and then lead with the waist, open. So you feel your spine really active here. Nice and flowing. We'll do 3 more on this side. And 2. And 1. Holding here. We'll switch the feet. So now the right foot is planted, the left knee is up. We'll just step out, strike the heel, and bend the knee. Step back in, toe, heel, and bend the knee. All right, left arm reaches out and down. Reach out. I think my plant really grew over the winter. My neighbor took good care of my plant. Now it's in the way of my arm. But I feel like I'm back in the Florida jungle here. Let's add the right arm. Sweep up. And reach. And sweep up. Now involve the waistline. So you're moving through the midsection. Oh, this feels so great to start this out this morning. Some nice active stretching, some balance work. Let's do 4 more this direction. And reach. 3. 2. Last one. And then bring those feet back out to your mid stance. Soften those knees a little bit. Then we'll bring the right palm forward, the left palm up, and then switch. Left palm forward, right palm up. Just go back and forth, creating this movement. And then I want you to start to look the direction of the back hand. So look to the right as the right hand comes back. Look to the left as the left hand comes back. Now step your feet a little bit wider here. Turn the toes out. And then bend your knees, rotate, and come up. We'll stay to this left side, rotate, and come up. Now, how deeply can you comfortably go into those legs? 3 more. Knees tracking over the feet. 2. Look way behind you. Last 1. Now hold here and just switch your hands. Then as you bend the knees, look to the right, up, and right. Inhale, exhale. Really warming through those legs. Last 4. 3. 2. Building heat in the quads, in the glutes. Last 1. And then rise up and bring both palms forward. Inhale, open chest expansion. Exhale, close palms to heart center. Inhale, open and close. So I want you to feel the muscles in the back activate. Breathing. Just checking in with those shoulders. 2 more. One more time. Breathe in and breathe out. Okay, I have a light hand weight, a 3-pounder that I'm going to use for the next exercise. Just one. I'm going to set it on top of my chair so I have it handy and close by. Facing the chair, step your, right foot forward. Take your left hand and put it down on the chair and take your left foot behind you. So we are essentially in a standing spinal balance here. So again, right foot on the floor, left hand on the chair, right arm reaches and extend it way out in front of you. So before we start this exercise, I want you to notice your pelvis. Keep it nice and squared. And notice your back foot. I would like your toes pointing down rather than out to the side. And so we're just going to come into this spinal balance, inhaling to reach. Then as you exhale, curve your spine like a cat and pull your abdominals in. Elbow comes toward the knee. Reach out. And exhale, pull it in. So we do this a lot on our knees. And if you're struggling with the standing version, you can bring this down to hands and knees. It's a great option. But since we're focusing on the back side of the core, as you reach, I want you to use that erector spinae muscle group to really extend and then to round back in. Reach and curve the spine. 3 more. I'm feeling some nice work in my standing leg as well. And let's do 1 more. And reach out and hold long. So take that lighter hand weight that you have right in front of you on the chair. Dangle it down. And open your arm out to the side. It goes up and down. So we're holding this spinal balance position so we're nice and active through the erector spinae as we're working upper back muscles, the rear deltoid, back of the shoulder. If your weight's too heavy, bend your elbow as you bring it up, rather than keeping a long arm. Up and down. Let's get 4 more here. Lift and lower. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Set that weight down. drop your back foot down to the floor, soften your knees, roll your body up. Take a nice big inhale, reach, and exhale the arms down. Ooh, I felt that definitely in my standing leg here. So let's switch. The left foot is on the floor. Right hand comes down to your chair. Right foot goes back. And then we square off our pelvis so everything is straight across. Left arm reaches out. Nice and long. Now feel the erector spinae muscles working in your back body. We'll inhale on the reach. Exhale to curve the spine, bringing the elbow and the knee inward toward each other. And then you find a nice pace that works for you. And try to let the breath be your guide. So take a nice, long, slow inhalation as you're reaching out, extending the spine. And then a full exhalation as the knee and elbow come in, rounding the back. There's a little tiny bend in your standing knee, so you don't have that leg locked out. And I'm not using the chair to help me a lot. I'm just using it to help me balance. Not a lot of weight into your right hand. Last 3 reps. And 2. One more time. Reach out and hold your spinal balance. Reach for that light weight that's on your chair there in your left hand. Let it dangle down and open the arm out and down. Out and down. Let's go for about 10 reps here. Remember, if the weight's heavy, you can bend your elbow as you bring that arm up. Here's 5. Reconnect with that erector spinae, those back muscles. 6. 7. 8. 2 more. Nice neutral head position. And 1. Set your weight down on the chair. Release the back foot to the floor. Soften your knees. Round yourself up. Finish with a breath in. Reach. And exhale. Okay, now we need 2 of those light hand weights. I'm going to grab my 2 pairs of 3s. Couple shoulder rolls here. And then we're standing on the right foot again. So I'm going to turn to the side, use my right foot. The left foot, instead of lifting off the floor behind me, is going to tap the toe. Bend both knees and hinge forward. Activate your back muscles. Open both arms out and down. So I've got a fairly big bend in my right knee. I'm not hunched over at the waist. I've got a really long spine. Most of my weight is in the front leg. Just got the back foot lightly tapped to the floor. Now, if you really want to challenge your balance here, pick the back foot up and lift and lower. Back of the shoulder working, upper back working, erector spinae, balance, stabilization of that front leg. 4, 3, exhale as the arms open. 2, last 1, and then come up with the body, step the back foot in, shake out those legs. Whew, a couple shoulder rolls. I hope you felt that as much as I did. Okay, so now we're going to use the left foot in front. Right foot taps behind, and I don't have it very far back there, maybe about a foot. Bend both knees down, and then hinge your upper body a little bit forward. Now, make sure you're not doing a hunch. So pull those shoulder blades back, reach the arms down toward the knees here, and then we open out and down. So same rules apply. If you have heavy weights, you can bend your elbows as you bring this up. That reduces the length of the lever. But light weights like the 3s I have, you should be able to open the arms nice and wide. Now maybe you can lift that back foot off the floor. Ooh. I love to throw balance in whenever we can. Open and close. Let's get 5 more. Really stable through that posterior chain. Erector spinae. 3. Ooh, nice challenge. 2. And 1. And then we'll come up, step that back foot in, shake out those legs a little bit. Okay, if you have heavier weights, I'd like you to grab those now. So I have 8-pounders that I'm going to use for this next exercise. So we're going to activate the erector spinae as well as the glutes and hamstrings and do a deadlift. So we come down to the knees and pull up. Knees, pull up. So our muscle groups really work as a team. So they work in groups of muscles. So the erector spinae isn't the primary muscle group here. It's really your glutes and your hamstrings. But your erector spinae has to stay stable to do this exercise with good posture. Let's just do 4 more to the knees. Notice I'm bending my knees a little bit as I come down. 3, 2, 1 more. Now come down into that deadlift position and hold here. So I'm going to pull both elbows up, down, up, down. So this is exactly the same position we were in those reverse flies, but instead of 1 foot back behind me, I have my feet both on the floor. Squeeze those shoulder blades. Squeeze. 12, 11, 10, 9. If you need a break, come up. 8, 7, 6, woo. Abs tight, back muscles firing. 3, 2, and 1, and relax. Come up out of that deadlift. Roll the shoulders. Ooh. All right, 1 heavy weight or 2 light ones. So I'm going to hold this heavy weight end to end, or if you've got 2 lighter ones, you can definitely hold them both together. So we're going to do an exercise called a wood chop. So turn your toes out, bend your right knee and reach that weight down towards that knee. And then as you come back up, we're going to lift this arm to shoulder height, or you can go up a little bit higher if that feels okay for your shoulders. But I want you to go slow and come up. So your range of motion might be right in here. This is good. But since we're focusing today on the core and the posterior core, what I want you to be thinking about is this side of your back. So as you come from this position, rotate and pull yourself up, and we'll work the core. We're also getting work in the right thigh and glute. As we bend this knee, push away, feel that muscle working. So we're going to the low right, to the high left. And then you can look down to the right and over to the left side. Now, if this is bothering your shoulders to do with the weight, set your weight down and just do this movement without any external workload. You'll still get a good amount of work. Let's do 3 more on this side. There's a lot of muscle activation, but I really want you to be aware of the back side of the core. Let's do 1 more here. And bring the weight to the chest. We're going to relax our arms for a little bit. Pulse in the legs. Down, 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 down. Abs really engaged. The back is long and supported by that erector spinae. Down, down. Let's do 2 more sets of 8. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to go. Feel that burn in the legs. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Press up. Release the arms down. Maybe take a shoulder roll. So now we're going to do our wood chop to the other direction. So our left knee bends. We reach toward that knee. And then as we straighten the leg, the arms lift any height to the right. Down. And you can go up a little bit more. But I want you to let your shoulders be your guide. So shoulders can be a little tricky. And sometimes if you have shoulder injuries, your doctor, your physical therapist says, don't do anything overhead, right? And that's a good thing to say. You know, we need to be careful of that. But this is also a very functional movement to reach our hands up, right? And if we never do anything over our head, guess what? We lose the ability to do that. So even if you have to set these weights down and just do this, that's what I want you to do, because I want you to move your shoulders through the range of motion that you can comfortably go, so we can keep that mobility, right? So let's do about 4 more on this side. Concentrate on the posterior obliques as you pull up, because you're coming up from a reach down. You're twisting your body back behind you. Let's get 2 more. And 1 more. Then come to center. And we'll pulse back into those legs. Good. Now you can either continue pulsing with no arms or take it 3, 2, 1, press up. 3, 2, 1, press up. So the same thing applies here. If you've been told not to do any workload over your head, set your weights down and just do this movement without any weight. So you can stay in a functional pattern with your shoulders. And up. But if there's pain when you do it, then even with no weight, then you could do something a little lower, maybe right in here. 4 more. And up. 3 more. And up. 2. Last time. 3, 2, 1, and up. Release that weight down. Set it back off to the side. And we're going to go back into our spinal balance. Now, our first time we did this, we had one hand on the chair and we were doing this standing. So if you want to take that option, feel free. I'm going to bring us down to the floor for a second option. So I'm going to have a little bit of support for my knees. And again, one lighter hand weight. So from all fours, hands and knees, or up standing using your chair, let's keep your right knee on the ground. Take your left leg back behind you into spinal balance. Reach that right arm forward. So we did this before. We inhale as the arm is lengthened. Exhale to pull the elbow and knee together. Good. Now, if you liked that option standing up, it's a great option to take. You're going to get a little bit more balance work. But I love this option from all fours too. Now I want you to focus on that erector spinae. So as you come out long and lengthen, activate those muscles in your back. Let's just do 2 more. And 1. Now lengthen out long in your spinal balance. Take your hand weight in your right hand. Bring your elbow up behind you. We've got a tricep kickback. Straighten, bend, straighten, bend. Now I want you to notice how much I'm bending. I'm not swinging toward my shoulder. I'm only bending to 90 degrees. I'm stopping when the weight taps my bottom thigh, the leg that's on the floor. Sometimes what happens with this, especially if you have heavy weight, is we start to swing this forward and then we throw the weight up. So I want you to stop it right at the thigh. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, straighten it and hold. Tiny lifts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more this arm. 8, you can bend the elbow if you need. The weight's getting heavy. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release that weight down. Now this arm we worked, we're going to take a thread the needle. So reach this arm up and then thread it through. Lay your shoulder down on the mat. If you're standing on your feet and you're using the chair option, just bring your right arm right across the front of your chest and hold a little stretch there. Now stay there for a couple more breaths. And then as we come out of this thread the needle, reach that right arm back up, extend, and set it down. All right, let's get ready to reverse sides, and I'm going to spin around so you can see my arm from the outside, not from the back of my body. So coming back to your hands and knees now. So this time, your left knee stays on the ground, your right leg goes back. Left arm reaches above the head. Take a nice inhale as you're lengthened. Exhale, curve the spine, pull the elbow and the knee together. And then we breathe in, breathe out. Inhale and exhale. Activating that erector spinae, that's our goal. So lift up, extend the spine. 5 more. Nice parallel hips as you lengthen the leg. 3, 2, 1. Now lengthen everything out and hold. feel the back muscles working, take the weight into your left hand, bring your elbow up, and the elbow is about 90-degree bend. And we straighten, bend, straighten, bend. So you'll notice I'm not moving my upper arm at all. So there's no movement at the shoulder. The back of the shoulder is a stabilizer muscle here, as well as the erector spinae, that entire chain of muscles along the spine on each side. Make sure you're not swinging the weight forward. 8, 7, zip up the abs. 6, neutral head position, try not to drop it, or we're not looking forward either. 2 more. Straighten the arm, hold, little lifts. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we're moving from the shoulder, not from the elbow. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Weight comes down. And we'll do a thread the needle with that left arm. Reach it up, extend. Thread it through. Relax your shoulder down to the mat. And breathe. Again, if you're doing the standing option, just hold your left arm across the front of your body. Stretch that shoulder out a bit. Or any other stretches that feel good for you. All right, let's come out of that thread the needle. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, relax down. So from here, we're going to come down onto our belly. But before you go there, I want you to take your hand towel along with you. So we're going to use that hand towel like a sling. So the way we're going to do it is we're going to place our forehead on the hand towel. So you're going to hold it out down onto your mat, lower down onto your belly, bring that hand towel to your forehead, and you're going to hold on to both ends, set your forehead right down onto that hand towel. So lift your elbows out from the sides of your body a little bit, and we're going to activate the erector spinae by lifting up and then lowering down. So I want you just ever so slightly to relax the back of the neck as you have your forehead into the hand towel. Your elbows are pointing out to the side, but they're slightly down toward your hip pockets. So you don't want your elbows way up. Pull them down a little bit. Now this is really going to work that erector spinae. And it's okay if you can't come up very high. Let's get 4 more. Lift and lower. 3, 2, and 1, and relax. Let go of that hand towel. Press yourself slightly up and bring your elbows down onto the mat in front of you. We're in Sphinx pose. Now, if this bothers your back to be up this high, bring your hands a little further in front of you so that you can lower your spine down. Just take a stretch into spinal extension here. Just a couple breaths. Then we'll come back into that position with our forehead supported onto the hand towel. So bring your head down, hold onto your hand towel on either side. Now your left elbow is going to stay on the mat as we lift our right elbow up and we rotate our spine and down. Right side comes up each time. So I'm really working now that posterior oblique. That gives us this rotation that we're looking for. Up Now, if this really bothers you to be on your belly and this exercise is not working at all for you, I want to show you an option. You can come up to your hands and knees, put your right hand on the back of your head and rotate up and down, up and down. So let's get 4 more on this right side. 4 and down. 3, down. 2 and 1, and relax. Okay, I want to take a breather here in child's pose or cat stretch. So place your hands underneath your body, push yourself up. Either come back to child's pose, or you can round your back into a cat stretch. This just brings us out of spinal extension for a few breaths. Sometimes we have some discomfort here when we've been in that position for a while. So as we prepare for the other side, if you had trouble doing that from your belly and you want to stay on your hands and knees, you're going to put your left hand back and rotate this side of your body up and down, or come back down to your belly. Place the hand towel on your forehead, or actually the forehead on the hand towel. Your right elbow stays on the floor. Your left elbow comes up as we rotate and back down. Up, down. Now let's put the exhalation when you're rotating up. Breathe out, breathe in. We have 5 more on this side. Try to relax your forehead into the towel. 4. So we're not getting a lot of neck tension here. 3. 2. 1. And relax. Okay, either taking your child's pose or your cat stretch. Press yourself up and back. Ooh, I'm feeling a lot of work in those spinal muscles. So if we haven't done this kind of work in a while, we don't want to overdo it and have undue tension and stress in those muscles. So let's come to our backs. And again, 2 hand weights, light or moderate workload. And come all the way down. Reach those arms right up from the shoulders. Option 1, your feet are flat on the floor, so you're just in a bent knee position. So we did a lot of reverse flies today, and we always want to work opposing muscle groups. So let's open the arms and close in. These are your chest flies. They're the opposite of the reverse flies we did in our bent over row position. Next option, stack your knees in tabletop for a little bit more core work. Pull it up. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Have a little bend in my elbows. Now open them out wide and hold. Pulse, 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 pulse. Tiny, tiny movement. If your weights are heavy, you can bend the elbows even more and come more to a press position. 2 more sets of 8 on the pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more to finish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Close those arms up. Set your feet back on the mat for a moment. Relax the weights next to you. Hug the right knee into the chest. Release that side, hug the left knee into the chest, just to release the lower back for a moment. So now we're going to go back to focusing on our oblique muscles. So bring your elbows down to the floor just to anchor your upper body a little bit. We're going to drop the knees over to the right side, then pull them up using the back side of your waist and drop them over to the left side and pull them up. So option 1, your feet are on the mat. So if you have any lower back issues, that's what I want you to do, is just keep those feet grounded onto the floor. Next option, bring your knees up to tabletop. Pull those knees over to the right. And bring them back up using the posterior side of the back. Those back obliques, posterior obliques, pull it up. So if you have your feet off the floor, the more you bend your knees, the easier this is. So if you want a little bit more work, straighten your legs out a little more as you go from side to side. That's going to create a longer lever. And your shoulders and your elbows stay planted in the mat the entire time. You might be getting a little bit of a bonus, a little massage for your lower back as you go side to side. Let's do 2 more each direction. One more each direction. Then hug both knees right into the chest. Take a couple breaths there. And then we'll prepare to move into flexibility work. So roll yourself up to seated. And then I'd like for you to find your hand towel again. So we are going to stretch that posterior oblique area. So let's pick up your hand towel. Take a nice breath in. And then do a side stretch over to the right and try to open up the side body. But then ever so slightly twist toward the floor and stretch that left side back body. Inhale, come back to neutral, center, and then exhale the arms down. Now, if you don't have a hand towel, you can do this same exercise without using that. So you would lift up, side stretch over, and then rotate slightly and reach out. So it's absolutely fine if that hand towel is giving you some issue or you don't have one, not to use it. Okay, just got a little text to my watch. Wanted to make sure it wasn't one of you guys. And then we'll inhale back to neutral. Exhale, come up. And release those arms down. Now this series of stretches can also be done seated in a chair if you'd prefer, so you can have yourself up off the floor if you wish. So let's take the right leg and extend it out in front of you. The left leg is bent, the foot is at the inner thigh. So if you're sitting in a chair, just extend that right leg forward out in front of you. Let's take your hand towel, reach it up. Then exhale, reach it forward. See if you can bring it over your foot and pull it back. You can also use your yoga strap if your hand towel isn't long enough. Or you can reach your hands behind you to give yourself a little press forward. So again, to stretch that posterior oblique area, I want you to hold on to your hand towel with your right hand only. So you've got a hold of it. Bring your left arm and reach it behind you And then bring it up and try to side stretch toward that right foot. This works well sitting in a chair. So I want you to make sure that you give yourself options that are going to work good for you so you find a nice, comfortable place in this stretch. And then inhale to come back up. Exhale to revolve back to the front and bring this knee right in. Now we can let go of the towel for a moment and just hug this knee across the chest. We're turning the same direction we just did. So look over that left shoulder, rotate. Left hand is behind you, spine is nice and long. One more breath. And exhale, come back to that center line. Let's switch the feet. So left foot extends forward, right knee bends. We're in a seated tree pose. Reach for that hand towel or yoga strap. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, reach it forward. Now, what if your hamstrings are tight? Can you bend this knee? Yes, you can. You can bend it. Pull it up and get a nice stretch for the Achilles tendon, for that lower calf muscle. Then we'll hold on to that hand towel just in your left hand. Keep pulling your toes back toward you. Open your right arm out. You're twisting to the side. And then side bend your body and reach right here, opening up that right side waist. A little bit into that posterior oblique where we spent a lot of work today. One more deep breath in. Inhale, open back out. And come back to the center. Pick up this knee, pull it in, release your towel. Hug that knee in toward your chest. I'm using the opposite arm, kind of the crook of my elbow to wrap. And look over your right shoulder into your twist. Nice long spine. And just relax as you breathe. See how far you can look over that shoulder for a nice neck release. One more breath. And come back to the midline. And then we'll let both knees open out into butterfly. And just let your elbows kind of relax here on the knees. If you're sitting in your chair, just separate your legs a little bit and allow your knees to open slightly. And then we'll fold through this space, any amount, stretching through your lower back. If you're sitting in the chair, just open your legs a little wider and let your upper body fall through that space. Feeling a little stretch through your inner thighs, through that erector spinae. Go ahead and let your back round a little bit. Dropping your chin towards your chest. Release any tension there. 2 more breaths. And then inhale, rise back up. And then just find a comfortable seat. So you could stay here in butterfly. You can cross the ankles, just be sitting in your chair. So with those reverse flies, we did a lot of work for the mid upper back. So we're going to come into an eagle stretch. So just inhale and expand the arms. As you exhale, cross the right arm on top of the left, and you might be able to wrap your arms into an eagle pretty easily, pretty comfortably. If this isn't accessible for you, you can wrap your hands and try to reach back behind your shoulder blades, or just wrap that right hand or right arm across your body. So whichever one works good for you, relax your shoulder blades down. And we're going to look over the right shoulder and slightly pull those elbows over to the left. If you have just the arm, you're pulling that arm in and looking to the right. And we'll take a couple more breaths here. Relaxing tension in the mid to upper back. Then bring the head back to center, the elbows as well. And then unwrap the arms. Inhale, open out, reach behind you. Exhale, cross the left arm on top of the right and wrap into your eagle, or reach behind to your shoulder blades, or hold the left arm across the front of the body. Once you have that stretch that feels good, drop your shoulder blades down so they're not hunching up toward your ears. Look to the left, pull those elbows over toward the right. And we're still activating the erector spinae just to sit tall here. If those muscles weren't active, we'd be slumping. So really active and strong spine. And then we'll bring our chin back to neutral, the elbows back to neutral as well. And we'll inhale to expand the chest. And then as you exhale, bring the palms of the hands together and curve your back and drop your chin down to the chest. So it's a seated cat stretch. Inhale, open, expand the chest. Exhale, round. One more time, inhale, open. Exhale, round. Then inhale, open and hold. Really pull those shoulder blades back. Then without rounding the back, just allow your palms to come to heart center. Close your eyes for a couple of breaths. Just notice how you're feeling. Give yourself a little bit of positive feedback for a job well done and for making your workout today a priority in your life. And we'll close our practice today in this mudra honoring and respecting and being grateful for this opportunity to practice together. And that light and love and peace that resides within me honors the light, the love, and peace in each of you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me either live today or later on YouTube. If you can stay for a moment and chat, I'd love to see how you're doing today. If not, I'll see you on Thursday for yoga. Take care, everybody.